Hey, everybody, welcome to Crackpot, the podcast where each and every week we dive into a different conspiracy theory and discuss the merits or the demerits of each. We're your hosts. I'm Tim.
And I'm Zach.
Hey, Zach, what's up?
Dude, it happened.
What?
Once again.
What?
The blink of an eye. Lost time, an entire year gone. I saw an owl, blanked out, and all of a sudden season 7 is done.
Dang.
Actually, I saw 3 owls. Then I blacked out.
Then you blacked out.
And
then you came and like
7.
all the work was, all the research and recording and editing was just done.
AI, folks, get into it.
I got one word for you. AI.
Yeah, there we go.
Plastic AI.
It's going to be the new version of...
Yeah. How about that? Year went fast. Also, by the way, I feel like the lead-in was slightly misleading because we're not actually talking about a conspiracy this week. We're doing our annual year in review wrap-up, roundup.
Yeah.
And looking forward to see what's coming down the pike. What does that mean?
We got to get some sounders for the show.
Okay. I'll work on that.
As long as you're not opposed to wearing headphones while we record.
Yeah?
Because then I can do some like drops and stuff.
I can do the drops too.
But you got to, okay. Anyways,
yeah, anyway.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, we thought, okay, we've been looking back on the year, covered a whole bunch of different topics. Also, kind of a big year, lots of changes for us here. Started off, believe it or not, actually at the end of season 6, which is we engaged Gregory Euclid to do some new art for us. So hopefully you're enjoying that. I love the way it looks, especially in the car.
Yeah.
When it's on the screen in there, looks so cool.
Look at you with your fancy car with a screen.
And well, yeah, either that or just put up your iPhone and just.
Oh yeah, okay, that looks great.
I think it does. Yeah, so we started off. Okay, we had first the new artwork, and then we pivoted business models, which, you know what, folks, kind of a big risk for us. And I'll tell you why.
It was.
Yeah, we had for 2 or 3 years done every other week Patreon exclusive versus the free feed. We want everyone to hear all the shows.
Yep. It's hard to put in that much effort and then paywall it from people.
Yeah, it didn't feel good, but it was absolutely 1,000,000,000% instrumental in helping us.
Yeah.
Because, we put the show out. We don't always get a lot of feedback, and so, what happens is we put a show out and we're like, was that good? But when we have patrons supporting us, we go, okay, people appreciate this. And also it helps us kind of fund the operations there because it gets expensive. And none of this is at all complaining. It's probably the greatest problem to have. But also, we shifted business models this year. Hopefully everybody's happy. Although I've learned now in, putting a product out into the world, you can't make everybody happy.
No, it's come to find out. Pleasing 100% of the people 100% of the time doesn't always work.
Yeah, so we do the show because it genuinely makes us happy. We're incredibly fortunate if it makes you happy too. But I would say, in looking back, man, season 7 was... I don't know. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, it was a good season. It also seems like a blur, like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I was scrolling through the feed. I was like, okay, what shows did we actually cover this year?
Right.
And looking back, I'm like, wow, some of this stuff feels like 10 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, all right, Tim, we got to ask each other the question that everybody wants to know.
Yes.
And that
Sagittarius.
question is, dang it.
Yeah.
Jump the gun.
Sorry.
All right. Anyways, I'm a Pisces, folks. All right. Let's talk about our favorite shows of each other's and also our own.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Do you want to do your favorite of mine first?
I'll do my favorite of yours.
Okay.
And I'll start with one, you do one.
Oh, what? Back and forth?
Yeah, back and forth.
Okay.
Lightning round.
Yeah. So it's after we do rock, paper, scissors, then it's on the thing. And then
Yes.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Believe it or not, Project 2025. So this is one of the first episodes of the new season when we're like, okay, let's hope this works well.
Yeah.
We do one of the most quote unquote controversial episodes. Maybe I shouldn't put quote unquote in there, but it ruffled a few feathers.
I have a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I'll stop talking because I truly want to hear this.
Let me ask you this. Why did you like it?
I liked it because it was a real conspiracy theory. This is like, oh my gosh, here is an election agenda. If this candidate wins, look at what could happen. And there were so many people that were saying, never going to win, he won't follow this, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But I felt it was, very informative because I currently try to minimize my news consumption. I get all my news from conspiracy theory, from Crackpot and Crackpot adjacent podcasts. So that was helpful. But no, I thought it was well researched. I thought it was pretty straightforward and unbiased, but
I just read it. That's right. All I did was read from it. The amount of hate mail, bad reviews, people quitting Patreon. I'm just reading what's printed. And yes, I'm allowed to editorialize. You know what? This is a free country. It's a First Amendment. If you agree with Project 2025, that's fine. I never said you can't. And in fact, if you agree with Project 2025, then even you should agree with me that I have a right to say what I believe in, which is I'm strongly opposed to it. But we can stay away from the politics side of it and just say I found it super interesting. I had no idea it would be a big thing for people.
I knew it would get some reaction. I was surprised. Surprised.
I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed because I feel like you should be able to talk about and or listen to ideas that oppose your own.
Sure. And
walk away and just be like, yeah, I guess that's just how other people feel.
Sure.
So, I don't know. But I'd say the vast majority of people didn't really seem to care that much. It's the what's the term? Loud minority vocal minority or whatever that seemed to chime in. But that's
anyway,
funny.
I like the episode. I thought it was good, so take that to the bank.
Okay. Tim, so I'm going to go way back to an earlier episode that I thought was dynamite of yours. And I quite frankly was disappointed we didn't get more feedback because it was so cool. The transplant effect.
On my list. I loved that episode.
That is a topic I have been hearing about, I swear, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where it's like, what's going on here? I had a brain transplant, and all of a sudden I can play the violin. or got a different
Maybe
heart.
not a great example.
Yeah, that would actually make sense. I got a new kidney, and suddenly I love opera music.
Exactly.
And guess what? I'm a savant all of a sudden.
Yeah, right?
That makes no sense.
It is, it's this idea that emotions and memories sometimes and just tastes and preferences can be transferred when you receive a new organ. Like, that is mind-boggling. It blows my mind. I assumed that we didn't get much feedback because everyone was just stunned.
Their minds were blown.
They were just like, I don't even know what to do with this. I can't respond to anyone. But no, I really like that. I personally, my favorites don't always line up with the audience favorites, but I would put that in like my top 5 favorite of all time. That and a couple other ones having to do with like real medicine that makes no sense, like the placebo effect sort of thing.
It's all related, isn't it?
Yeah,
it has to be.
It's like, what is going on? Maybe science doesn't have all the answers. I don't know.
And also just the fact that the people that would receive transplants would somehow seem to carry the memory or memories from the person who had donated.
Yes.
So it would be like, I'd have night terrors and have this horrible car crash. And it's like they received a heart from somebody who's died.
Was in a car crash.
Yeah. So it's like, that doesn't make sense. It's all this, discussion around consciousness, where our memory's stored. I mean, I find the whole topic fascinating. That may have been my favorite episode of yours from the whole year. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I loved it.
No, it was a good one. Thank you. I want to fast forward in the year a little bit. One of my favorites, Spooktacular Enfield Poltergeist.
No joke, huh?
I'm a sucker for the spooktaculars.
That is true.
And I do like a good poltergeist case. And
that is true.
So I will say this, just kind of peeling back the curtain a bit. We recorded it, and I was like, okay, yeah, solid show, good talk, good discussion, good topic. And I was then, a couple days later, sitting down, and I was editing it, and it was hard. It was hard to edit because it was like legitimately scary. Like, I started dropping in those voices and stuff like that. I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is straight up bizarre. And I don't know what to do with any of that, except it was a good show.
Some of that stuff too. So you're speaking to the editing it, right? But it's like also the researching of it, sometimes can be really uncomfortable. Like when I've done like demonic possessions and that kind of stuff, it's like I don't like this.
Right.
Like I have to kind of put it down for a while.
Right.
So yeah, that's. Like,
then every now and then you read something like, "Oh, if you're too into this, you know, it opens up the portal and a devil can come and take over your body." And like I'm editing this, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't be editing this. I don't know."
Turn the lights on, go upstairs.
What am I doing with my life,
dude? Well, I'm happy to hear that went over well because you sometimes record the show, you're like, okay, I think it was all right.
Yeah.
And then it's not until it all comes together, like, okay, yeah, I think that was all right. So, anyways, that was a fun one to look into, and that was a major poltergeist case. So happy that we could finally cover it. I will go into a topic of yours that I thought, even at the time, we both were like just pulling our hair out, going mad about.
Yeah.
And this is the ghost lights or alien beacons discussion. This was the space plasma.
Oh, the space plasma. Thank you.
One of the first episodes I think we recorded in the new studio here.
That could be.
I think it was.
Okay.
And that was the idea that, and astronauts have seen this thing, some sort of space plasma that's like maybe sentient.
Balls of light that seem to move around that appear to move consciously and deliberately. What else can you even say about it? Balls of light that appear to be conscious. Again, it's like, that sounds crazy. I know that. Yes, I realize all of this. But you get actual credible witnesses and you start to look at historical stuff like the Foo Fighters in World War II. And it's like, okay, maybe there's something else going on.
Well, the space plasma thing is fascinating for many reasons because they don't really know what it is, but then also it might actually explain or account for some UFO UAP phenomena.
Exactly.
But it's not really been fully studied and they don't really know what it is. So
right.
Woo.
Yeah. What is plasma and is it alive? Tune
Maybe
in next week. Right.
Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, no, that one I feel like it was, I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, like a launch space or something. I feel like we have built off of that and we can tie that back into a lot of old ones. So it feels, just very relevant.
It was baller. Yep, love that one.
Yeah. Okay, I forget when this came out, not too long ago, but the Trinity UFO.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Right.
That's a prolific UFO event.
So this was in New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
And so a UFO crashed and hit like a tower on the way down, and then some kids saw it. And
it was so weird. Yeah, and then a truck came, and like the military was trying to get access to it, and then it was a balloon, but some of the kids stole pieces of the thing and hit the pieces. Right. Check it out if you haven't listened to it. It was really, really
good. It's a really good one. It pops up all the time in just different accounts of different UFO sightings and things like that. But I had never sat down and like actually pieced together the whole story, so I was thankful for that. And it's just like, what is going on? Like everyone in this story seems incredibly credible and reliable and everything else, and it's just like, what actually crashed? Something crashed. What actually crashed?
None of it makes any sense. In fact, actually, the problem is it makes too much sense.
Right. The answer makes too much sense.
Whew. Yeah, so who knows? But moving right along here, dude, another episode that I feel like maybe if we had done this episode in like season 1 or something, would have been like a really big thing to do. Kamar Daban.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Yes.
So yeah, Kamar Daban, if we're even saying it correctly, was basically Dyatlov. Oh, it's like Timu Dyatlov Pass.
Timu Dyatlov Pass, or maybe vice versa. We don't know.
We don't know. But we had some really good engagement on that, some different theories as to maybe what happened. And yeah, I mean, another kind of hikers go out in the Russian wilderness, people die, unexplained circumstances,
mysterious deaths.
And nobody, it's just really, really weird.
It is weird. No single explanation accounts for everything.
Yeah.
And it's just bizarre. So, yeah, I mean, check that one out again. I love Dyatlov Pass. I mean, that's got to be in like top 5, top 10 or something like that. And like you said, this kind of dovetails. It's Russians. It's hiking in the wilderness. It's mysterious deaths. It's a baffled community. It has everything.
Yeah, it does.
The only real question that I take away from that afterwards is like, why didn't we do it sooner?
Yeah.
And why did no one say, oh, also do this one?
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. So that was a really, really compelling show. And we had some good feedback on it, too, and some thoughts around maybe what was going on.
Yeah.
Like non-paranormal related.
Non-paranormal hypotheses. So,
go back, listen to the show, rate, review, subscribe. Make sure you listen to that episode.
All right. American Monsters, cryptids. No, the one of the first cryptid ones we did this year, which I guess wasn't that long ago.
It really wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
We took a break from cryptids for a
We
while.
took like a several-year hiatus from cryptids.
Yeah. We're coming back hot, folks.
Oh, 2025 is the year of the cryptid.
The year of the cryptid.
If you've ever even heard of a cryptid, we will be covering it, guaranteed. No, but I mean, that was fun because you were talking about like kangaroos and stuff like that.
Just bizarre. Yeah, gargoyles.
Yep.
The Van Meter Visitor.
You're right.
Just some weird, a lot of Wisconsin ones. Yeah.
Wisconsin's home of cryptids and serial killers. What can I say?
I'm saving one for next season that'll hit a little close to home for you, Tim.
Again.
Yeah, again, they're all in Wisconsin.
They're all in southeastern Wisconsin. What is going on, man? I moved in the wrong direction. No, anyway, I really like that. I feel like that just kind of kicked off a renewed interest in the weird. I still have a hard time talking about this with a straight face and not laughing. So that'll be my New Year's resolution.
These episodes, like, we should just come out and say, yeah, none of this can possibly be real. However,
everything points in the direction of it being real, and that makes no sense.
Whew. So anyways, okay, my last comment here in terms of favorite shows of yours, and dude, I really am having a hard time picking a number one. This might be number one, but also, like I said, everything else could be number one easily. The family reincarnation stories.
See, I knew what your list of mine was going to be before you even said it.
Did you really?
4 of the 5. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, the children who remember or something. I think we called it on the podcast. But yeah, it's children who have memories of their past lives, and then the families look into it, and the memories actually check out.
Shouldn't be real.
No, again, that should not be real in any sense of the word. But it time and time again, when I say time and time again, I think we maybe talked about a dozen cases, but nevertheless, over and over, you have these kids that are like, oh, I want to go down that road over there where that used to be. And the parents are like, that doesn't exist. And they talk to the old timer who lived in the town like 80 years ago. And they're like, oh, yeah, yep, that's where the old barbershop was. And it's like, how would that kid know any of that?
I want to smoke my old Kent menthols. You know, it's like the kid's 4. You're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, kid?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
You don't smoke menthols?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, dude, that was a baller episode.
I was going through the list, and this is great. I was looking at yours, writing down my favorites. I actually wrote that down under yours because I figured, it's reincarnation. That had to have been your episode. And I was like, wait a minute.
Nope.
I think that was mine. So anyway.
Funny how life works. Huh?
Funny how it works. And lastly, and certainly not leastly, one of my favorites for you, all time probably, the Isdal woman.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Just all the facts. Just none of it made sense. Probably a spy. But who knows?
But also for who, and
who's
we don't
against
know.
This person?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Question marks all around.
Just found her body burned in the woods, bunch of documents and wigs, and then she's popping up all over the continent. Like, that's crazy, dude.
That was a really, really, that was like a wild goose chase. I started looking into that when Mayman Spider was like, hey, guys, get real, do this episode. Yeah. And we looked into it. I looked into it. I was like, whoa, boy.
The only one I had on my list of personal favorites that you didn't already mention, so we lined up pretty one for one, but the Pascagoula abduction was just, it's still, I love a good abduction story.
So do I.
Nothing better. It's always fascinating. Some seem to be more credible than others. Some just seem to be just more outlandish than others. This one is certainly outlandish, but the 2 guys that were allegedly abducted by aliens in Pascagoula, Mississippi, just salt of the earth, didn't want any sort of attention, hated what came with it, and had to live with it for the rest of their life. And if they were making it up, they would have obviously long ago had said, we're making it up. But they didn't because they know what they saw. Anyway, it's a classic case. It's a very famous case. You've probably heard of it if you haven't heard it on this show. But yeah, I loved looking into that episode.
That one too was actually like I had like basically written in pencil because I was like, that one's near the top.
Yeah.
And I could have easily gone like that was like my 6th favorite of yours this year. So that was
I like
cool.
it. The 6th man on the bench, first off the bench, right?
That's right. Well, for a little insider trading here, but also if we have any folks that are new to the show, I will highlight a few of episodes that I did that I really liked because I thought they were just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Number one that I really thought was super compelling was Doppelgangers.
Oh, right.
That was cool.
Yes.
That was really cool. Oh, dude, I think probably the most compelling story that just got buried in all of our episodes, at least from this year, from my perspective, the Yuba County 5. That was so weird. That is the second half. I did like
I forgot about that.
missing persons one. Like everything about that was. I should almost revisit that one.
Yeah,
because that could have been a full show. I should have maybe done it as a full show. Everything about that thing was just weird.
It's just bonkers. Yeah, 5 guys go missing and turn up dead, essentially.
Yeah, but 2 of them maybe lived for a while in a cabin. Like it was so freaking weird.
Yeah.
So check that one out because, yeah, that was like bizarro. But I'm also a sucker, of course, for the NDE type stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
low key, I thought the Evil Objects one, the Haunted
Yes.
Movies ones were
Yes.
fun, just kind of low risk, like
Right.
let's go for it.
Yeah, there was certainly no shortage of fun little one-offs, I think. All around good season, good year. Pats on the back.
Tip of the cap.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask our listeners this, though. Do us a favor. Because Tim and I really just sometimes are like, well, we should talk about, we'll find something. Or maybe we'll like read a book and then see something in a byline or a note or something. We're like, oh, we should do an episode on that. We really need to know like what types of things you guys want to hear. You want cryptids, you want aliens, you want abductions, you want unexplained science type stuff, NDE stuff. Like what are the compelling topics that you guys are into? Because we'll do more of them.
Yeah.
We're just doing the stuff we find interesting, and we hope that you find it interesting too. So if you have specific ideas, like just seriously, shoot us a note.
Absolutely. No, I can't agree with that enough, honestly. Like he said, there is no shortage of stuff out there. So if you just give us a topic, we'll find the good stuff in there.
That's right. Now, I do have 2 things I want to mention here, and I cannot believe I'm putting this on the record. But I'm doing this to hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Don't give me that look.
This is the look you gave me when you said no Bigfoot.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's the whole point. No, okay. So I would love to do some YouTube live streams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We've been talking about that.
Yeah, and we can do them. We need people to attend them. So be on the lookout for, I think, some live stream shows. I just would love to try it.
Yeah.
It's always a gamble. It's always a risk to try something new. We've never done something like that before.
I think how we're thinking about it in the moment, and we can be persuaded, but basically we would just record a live stream of us doing an episode so you can kind of see behind the scenes, what it looks like. I don't really know how YouTube Live works, if we can take comments or anything or read stuff that people type in. Or
this is kind of the issue with our format, which is it is more like a typical radio show, which is like, okay, you shouldn't even see us, right? But I think there might be an angle to figuring out the YouTube Live stuff, like live streaming, which might be really compelling. But it'd be fun if we had people participate.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it out there to say I think I'm going to try to do it.
I like it.
Hold me accountable, please.
I'll try.
January, February, maybe I'll try one.
Oh, wow.
I literally just want to try it. And
Sure.
if it's a failure, then I'll know. I forget what the other thing I was going to mention, but that was kind of the big one right there.
All right. Well, the other one, I think we might be able to potentially do another live show this year.
Yeah. Maybe a little closer to home. So we went out to Boston.
Boston.
2023.
Worcester.
Yeah, we were out in Worcester, Mass. And it was honestly like a highlight of my life.
It truly was. It was a great show, great
Yeah.
crowd, a lot of fun,
Yeah.
so much fun. Yeah, I think we just got to keep it closer to home here. Travel costs get expensive when you fly first class out to the East Coast on your private jet, the corporate jet. But
one of us needs to learn how to fly. We could just take the corporate jet out then.
We could get Travolta in here on the board.
That would rule.
Just saying.
What do you think, John?
I don't know, guys.
Okay. So, yes, live show. We will plan something, schedule something, probably closer to home. So, if you're in the upper Midwest, look out. Or if you're not from around here and you want to make it your way here,
we're not putting any travel limits on you. That's up to you and your parole officer. I mean, you can come visit us anytime.
Tim's right. So, anyways, and probably some more video content. I think that was the other thing I was going to mention. We're sitting on a video, which I'm not.
Thank you. You just got to keep reminding me.
Not your bad. It's all good. It's all good.
It's just a lot of work.
It's a ton of work, but I think we'll do some more of that kind of stuff. But anyways, to put a pretty ribbon/bow on this, tell us what kind of topics you guys want. Be looking for some new types of content that we'll be putting out, and we're always open to feedback.
Yeah. It'll be great, guys. Thank you for coming along for the ride with us so far. 7 seasons. Doesn't stop blowing my mind. So thank you again. Happy New Year, and we'll see you in season 8.
Yes, indeedy.
Adios.
Thanks, everybody.